Hello guys, welcome. I'm Sim UK. I wanted to make a quick video about the recently announced TCA range from Thrustmaster. TCA stands for Thrustmaster Civil Aviation, and it seems that Thrustmaster have finally decided to expand their flight simulation range in a very big and very pleasing and very specific way with these Airbus A320 replicas. I'm very interested in your thoughts on this too, so please do let me know in the comments below. Now, I've already pre-ordered the TCA Officer Pack Airbus Edition, which will come out on September 24th, 2020. It cost me $149.99 plus postage, and that's going to set you back $160 or 160 euros. And with controller prices getting absolutely ridiculous in the previous few years, it's really nice to see something so reasonably priced. At least, I hope it's not a reflection of the build quality, but having already bought numerous Thrustmaster devices in the past, I'm pretty confident that the build quality will be right where it needs to be. The side stick, which comes as part of that combo, has a neat combo of adjustable buttons for the head. That will rather annoyingly be available on June 25th, but I won't get mine until September 24th because I bought it as part of the pack. So my advice to you is don't buy the Officer Pack, as it only saves you a few quid and you'll have to wait much longer for it to arrive. Sadly, the TCA Quadrant add-ons, which include the brakes and the flaps, are going to be confirmed later this year, so they're not even going to be available for purchase for quite a while yet. The TCA Officer Pack includes both the Quadrant and the throttle, but not the desk-mounted bracket. This is not included in the Officer Pack, unfortunately, and will cost an additional £55. Now, it looks pretty well made. I do like the design of it, but I'm already thinking I might want two throttle quadrants put together so I can fly an A380 style. Now, you can do that. It is possible to bind two of them together. So firstly, it's great to know that you can bind two throttle quadrants together so that you've got a four-engine A380 type setup. But the flying clamp desk mount looks as though it has variable height adjustment, but a fixed width, which would make it impossible to connect multiple quadrants together. So I guess the only logical situation, in the instance of having four together plus the add-ons as well, is that the flying clamp desk mount can also be connected together too. We'll have to wait to see on that, but I assume you're going to have to buy two of these desk mounts in order to accommodate two throttle quadrants and two side add-on panels, which haven't even been released yet, in order to make it one seamless section, if you will. That's the only way I can see it working. It looks like it's capable of doing that, but there doesn't seem to be any confirmation that you can do that on the website. Maybe I just missed it, I don't know, but I assume that's the way it's going to happen. So other than that one theoretical limitation or concern, I am extremely excited by the prospect of having realistic throttle quadrants in my rig. And when the TCA Quadrant add-ons arrive, I hope to have been able to save enough money for them also, because, well, let's be honest, I'm a tiny little YouTuber. I get hardly any views. There's no way they're going to send me something so that I can review it for you. And having a realistic rig like this has always been on my mind. I even once attempted to make my own handles out of polystyrene for the flaps and the air brakes. It didn't work very well. This was way before 3D printers existed. But this is next level stuff, so I'm really excited about it. So what I don't want to do in this video is bore you with all of the details and specifics. Rather, I wanted to highlight the things that appealed to me mostly, concerned me, or I otherwise found interesting. Like, for example, the Thrustmaster target functionality. This is something I've never used before, but it will allow you to merge all of your compatible Thrustmaster accessories together so that they're recognized as a single USB device. They say it's for enhanced modularity and customization of the gaming controllers themselves. And potentially it will make at least the initial setup a much smoother experience, because you won't be switching between different controllers and trying to set up. Like in X-Plane at the moment, you can have multiple controllers, and you have to switch between them in order to do that thing, and then switch back to the other one in order to put that button on there. If it's going to see it as one single epic device, that's pretty cool, so I like that. And they've already confirmed that this has native integration into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So we've got two pieces here. We've got the side stick, and if you know Thrustmaster at all, you'll know about their eSwap PS4 controller, which already has these hot swappable thumbstick components, which I think is a really smart design, because that's always the first thing that breaks on my controllers anyway, that and the buttons. So the side stick, we also appear to have a similar type functionality as this, and it's promoted as being a fully ambidextrous modular joystick, and it looks like that's exactly what we have here. If you already know the A320, and I'm sure you do, then you know that it uses a side stick instead of a yoke, and until now I really had no decent way of replicating that. So I am looking forward to trying that out, and as it will allow the stick to be placed and used for either hand, you could effectively fly pilot or co-pilot as well. Furthermore, you can have it set up for smaller GA aircraft because of its versatility. So that's a really, really great sounding side stick slash joystick right there. So inside, it's got the inclusion of Hall Effect Accurate Technology magnetic sensors, which gives you surgical precision for pitch, axis and roll axis, something that many previous devices have really failed to deliver on. Inside, it's got a single adjustable 2.8mm coil spring, just the one. You can't swap them out, but it is adjustable, so we'll have to see how well that works. They say it provides a firmer, more linear and fluid tension system. So we'll see. Hopefully it's as good as it sounds. And they've also introduced a new locking mechanism, which is quite cool. This is something I've never seen on a device before. It will allow you to disable the joystick's handle rotation. So if you use it for your movement and you've already got rudder pedals, then you can lock that off so that it doesn't do it anymore. That's quite a cool little feature. It'll feel more solid as a joystick as a result. I'm going to be closely looking at the quality and the feel of the buttons. There's 12 on the base, the 4 modular buttons on the stick itself, and obviously there is the throttle control and the one virtual button on the thing there. So it's like the bottom 20% is like a mini reverser throttle, if you will. Now, I'm not sure exactly what I might use that for, but I don't know. Out of all of it, that's the only area where I feel like maybe the quality isn't going to be as good, just based entirely on looking at the pictures and watching the video. So it's a concern area, but it's not a fundamental concern that I'm worried about. I will be looking at that in great detail. So although I wasn't in the market for a new joystick, I think this could be the best one that I've ever owned. So I'm really excited to get my hands on it in about 2 months from now. 3 months from now. So the Quadrant, this is the most exciting bit for me, and I'm sure many of you out there as well. It's an ergonomic replica of the Airbus A320 Quadrant, including the thrust reverser mechanism, so you can use it for commercial and civil aircraft. And you cannot replicate this at this price anywhere. So I am fully engaged right now. The minute I saw it, I was like, wow. In fact, I responded to the marketing team that sent me the email with all this information in, and I was like, wow, do you know how long I've been waiting for something like this to come along? So I am fully engaged. I'm very excited. Again, the throttles promote the Hall Effect Accurate Technology magnetic sensors. So you've got really good precision there. Obviously, magnetic technology should ensure that precision won't decrease over time. So that's good. You've got 2 engine master selector switches, which are located below the throttles here. A nice added dose of realism, I'm sure you'll agree. And with it, you'll also get 8 physical action buttons and 8 virtual buttons on each axis for the thrust levers, which gives you 16 in total. And the thrust levers themselves are also fully adaptable. They've got mechanical selectors allowing you to disable the detents. They've got tensioning screws to allow you to adjust the resistance as well. And although they are weighted, and it has 6 rubber pads for stability, that is a necessary inclusion for many, especially if you're going to be using it on a desk or a table and not mounting it to something. The throttle quadrant also includes connectors for the upcoming add-ons, which I've mentioned a number of times. It's the brakes and the flaps, etc. It's going to basically evolve into a fully simulated flight throttle quadrant system just in time for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So if you haven't heard about this yet and you don't know anything about it, well, now you do. So start saving your pennies. I can't wait to get my hands on this, and as soon as I do, I'll put a review together for you. But I'm a tiny YouTuber, so I'm having to pay for it. I'm going to get it later than everybody else. So hand on heart, disappointingly, there are going to be other bigger YouTubers who get access to this way before me. So I think you're probably going to have to go and I'll be watching their videos as well. So unfortunately, that's going to be the case. But I mean, at any point, you can come back, ask me any questions when I've got it, and I'll happily try and answer your questions and give you an honest feedback. And I will be reviewing them honestly. And if you know my channel at all, you know that I do mean honestly. So thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Till next time. Goodbye.